Hi. I wonder if I was the only one that stayed up until stupid o'clock this morning, just watching things unfold. um, I was I was watching quite a few live streams and pretty decent live streams actually. One was an Indian YouTube channel, quite big, but English speaking, and their channel was taken down. So not quite sure why, because it's not like they were taking one side over the other or anything like that. Although there are plenty of other channels that are doing that. So that was yeah, I don't know. So I was skipping between a few, and I ended up sticking on redacted, and because yeah, I think redacted's pretty decent, and the amount of tomfoolery and skullduggery, love those two words, that was going on. Especially like I said in the swing states. I mean, Pennsylvania, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous what these dickheads were doing. So unbelievably blatant, but it didn't pay off now, did it? So cackling Kamala, she's disappeared into back underneath the slimy rock where she belongs. And yeah, I had a little bit of a think. I'm going to talk about a few other bits as well. I had a bit of a deep thought about Trump, and yeah, the whole warp speed thing. And I know I said that I wouldn't mention that again. When he took office the first time around, he was a businessman. He was a businessman. Oh, check out the size of this mug. I'm not keen on what it says on the front because that's not me, you know. But yeah, I mean, there's like 3 mugs of tea in there. It suits me fine. So he started off as a businessman. That was his history, and he did have one hell of a head start in the business world because his dad was a rags to riches guy, and when I say riches, I mean riches. Um, so he's highly skilled in the business world, which is why he managed to get everything quite you know leveled off and balanced out and successful. He was very successful, but he wasn't. He was never a politician. So all of a sudden, because he funded himself, so there wasn't really any outside influences. He wasn't corruptible, so to speak. Well, he was, but I think perhaps unknowingly, because he would have when he took office, he then chose his staff and put trust in his staff, and the people that would have recommended this staff, his team, if you like, were probably compromised. So we're giving him shit information and shit advice. So all of a sudden, he's found himself in a position where he is the leader, the master in chief, commander in chief of the biggest superpower in the world, and everything that comes with that. All of the states, a massive undertaking, massive. So I think he made some. I do think that Trump is what you see is what you get. I do think that, and I think it was his team that kind of let him down. I mean, Mike Pence. The guy's got a master's degree in backstabbing. And there were several other people as well, especially military, high up in the military. There were a lot of bad people around that man. And I'm hoping that he doesn't make the same mistake again, that he's learned from it, that he spent the last 4 years reflecting on where he went wrong, and where his trust was misplaced, and then kind of turn it around. But take into account that although he's been elected, he is the president-elect. That's it. He's not the president yet. You know, the whole inauguration thing. We've got to wait until, we've got a couple of months. It only takes a minute for a giant false flag or black swan event to occur. A minute. That's it. So anything can happen between now and then. And it probably will. It probably will. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because the UK and America have had like an unbreakable bond. And yeah, there are lots of people would say that England is America's lapdog. But then there are plenty of other people that say that England still rules. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. This is that other book that, someone said, I did that little kind of half-drunk talk, and all you could see was that in the shadows. I didn't really go into it. And someone mentioned that it looked like I was about to start a seance or get a Ouija board out, which I thought was quite funny, because it did. Well, this is the Lost Book of Natural Remedies. You're going to get quite a few books that have got very similar things in there, but then you're going to get books that have got stuff in there that other books haven't. And this is a really good one. There's a couple under a similar name, and from the research that I did, this is the best one. So I've built myself a decent little library now, and it's a case of just putting it into practice now and trying to. You see, the thing is, when the shit hits the fan, and we all of a sudden we find ourselves living in a new world, it would be good for all of us to try and practice a skill or several skills. There are people out there that know a little bit of carpentry, a little bit of they've kind of done quite a bit around their own homes as far as DIY and stuff like that's concerned. Anything that you can do without power, so investing in analog tools, of which I've got a shitload. In fact, I'll probably make a video out of that at some point, get everything out and go through everything that I've got so that I can live a relatively normal life without power, without a power supply to the house. So yeah, learning new skills. Now, tinctures and, remedies and stuff like that you can bottle up, that you can make yourself and then sell on, because a lot of people are going down the homeopathic route now, the holistic path, because so few people trust Big Pharma now, myself included. I don't trust them at all. And then your GPs and stuff, or to our American friends, your local doctor, your family doctor, that they've all been trained by a corrupt system. So right from day one at medical school, all the way through to becoming a GP or a doctor, they've just been trained wrong. And I've said before, if your doctor isn't asking you about your diet, smoking, your lifestyle choices, if they're not asking you these questions from the off, then you're basically dealing with a dealer, not a healer. So, yeah. So going down the natural route, again, I'm not medically trained. You either listen to me or you don't. It's up to you. This is just a general chat for entertainment purposes only. So yeah, if you can get into the whole kind of natural remedies things and start seeing what you can find foraging, seeing what you can grow, and that's another thing I'm going to go into in a second, what you can grow yourself, and then how to prepare these herbs and flowers or roots or whatever, to make them into an actual natural medicine. And that will give you a place in society moving forward. Because I do believe that we've got to have skills. We do need to have some skills moving forward. Stop blurring out. In order to make yourself valuable to society, useful. You know, there are a lot of useful idiots out there and useless ones, and we don't really want to be one of them. So, getting books like this and then learning and then practicing. I mean, I've just one example I gave, just one of millions, was Manuka honey on my middle finger, just there, and it you know, I mean, I heal quite quickly anyway because I'm quite healthy, you know, I'm quite fit. But I definitely believe that Manuka honey sped that healing process up. But some of the stuff that I've read in here, and that the other one that I deemed as a prepper's Bible, some of the treatments and cures in there for things that you wouldn't believe. Yet we go to the GP with these problems, and it's like, what's the problem? Because you've got an average of 8 minutes to get it all out and then get some feedback. 8 minutes, give or take. And within seconds, he's just got his prescription pad out. There you go. Take 2 of them two times a day. That's it. Off you go. And then you get the little piece of paper out of the medication and you read all the side effects. You know, pretty much no side effects with these natural remedies. So learning to make all your own stuff, becoming some sort of natural herbalist / medical practitioner, but in a natural sense, a holistic sense, as opposed to big pharma and possible potential poisons. I've just sent off, because I'm obviously going down the route of trying to make my own alcohol as well. So yeah, try and make yourself multi-skilled. So you learn a little bit about this, or a lot about this, a lot about that, a lot about that, and a lot about that. And then your neighbours, I was going to say your neighbours, they learn a bit of it. Then, you know, most of our neighbours, they're not going to learn fuck all, because they're just dead from the neck up. But I have woken a couple of people up recently that I'd been working on for years, and they're just starting to come round, just at the point where I was about to give up and cut them loose. So it just goes to show, perseverance pays. It does. So I watched Ruth Smith's video. Yeah, so this is basically to gauge the level of alcohol in your cider, your beer, your wine, whatever it is that you're brewing, whatever it is you're making. It's an essential piece of kit, really, and not very expensive. Obviously, if you're going to go down the route of producing something as a barter item or whatever, you've always got that initial outlay. But once you've got that initial equipment set up, you're good to go. You're good to go. You don't need to get it again. But if money's really, really tight, and I know it is with all of you guys, just keep getting food in. Keep getting food in. Don't stop getting food in, especially now. So I watched Ruth Smith's video, and I've been taking lion's mane, shop bought, for, I don't know, a couple of years now. And the that, again, multi-pronged defence. Taking lion's mane and not drinking water that's full of fluoride and other God knows what, other chemicals. And these chemicals are, well, I mean, you read up on these chemicals and they're neurotoxins. So no wonder we're surrounded by so many stupid people, because they're drinking shit water, and your body's 70% water. And non-activated water, So yeah, this lion's mane, I do think that in conjunction with other stuff that I take, has just given me incredible clarity, mental clarity. I've never thought so clear or felt so fit in my whole life. And I'm 2 years past half a century and fitter than, I'd say, most 25-year-olds, for various reasons that I'm not going to go into. So Ruth has managed to start up bartering already. She's getting stuck in there, and she knows someone that grows lion's mane from a kit. And because I've been taking lion's mane for quite a long time, I've got no idea really where that lion's mane was grown or processed and put into these pills, into these capsules. No idea, because I wasn't there. And Big Pharma, they've worked their way into the supplements industry as well. So fuck knows what's in half of these supplements and what's used to bind them. Talc, shit like that. It's not good. So so because she's got a dehydrator, she's offered to dehydrate this fresh lion's mane fungus for someone that she knows that lives around the corner. And so she's dehydrating it for him, and in return she's getting free lion's mane, which is, please feel free to look it up. Ruth does go into it a little bit. She does mention, what it's good for, and it's good for a lot. So cheers, Ruth, for that bit of inspiration. This just arrived today, and this is a lion's mane mushroom or fungus growing kit. Extremely straightforward, and this should produce on average about 1.8 kilos of lion's mane. Now, because Ruth had dehydrated it and she said how brittle it was, that was a sealed deal for me, because I need to know that I'm going to be able to crush it down in my mortar and pestle, into a powder, because I've already got the capsules that I make my own supplements up in anyway, and I keep buying them in. I do 50% black pepper and 50% turmeric mixed up together and then put in capsules, and I take one, sometimes two of them a day. So I'll be making my own lion's mane supplements. So, and that will be organic. So that's another route that I can go down, getting loads and loads of these capsules in. I'll show you. I know most of you have seen them already, because I have done videos on them, but the videos were way back in time. So, it's a long way for people to just go searching. So that's these. They're just two sides of a cap. You fill the cap up, put the capsule together, and you've got your own supplement. So I'll have my own lion's mane supplement, organic, grown myself. So these are just lots and lots of options, loads and loads of little routes and roads you can go down to make yourself useful when the shit hits the fan, which it will, until we get to the other side. And people are going to be screaming out for this sort of future. People are going to some degree or another, turn their back on the modern medical industry and big pharma. So that's it. That's pretty much it for now. And yeah, have a lovely day. Much love. Ciao for now.